Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Lydia. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So today we are looking at all of the pins that my husband and I traded for on our most recent Walt Disney World trip. So I don't really have anything to say other than let's get into it. Just a few things. We were there for 8 days. We had 7 park days. And we did a lot of trading in our resort. We stayed at All Star Movies, and there were incredible pins, especially on the cast members. There were great pins on the boards. Magic Kingdom was like our honey hole. There were so many good pins, and the 2025 Hidden Mickeys. What else? We also traded a lot, a lot, with other guests in the parks. So I feel like we did a good half and half, maybe a little bit more board trading. If I can remember exactly, stories behind some of these pins and interactions with some of these pins, I will share them. I'm not going to be able to remember everything. We got back 2.5, almost 3 weeks ago. The days are running together, but so I can't remember everything, but take good pins and you will find good pins. The pin trading is still good in the parks. Don't let people tell you that they're not. You can have good trading experiences with guests, and you can also have really good trading experiences at the value resorts. So let's get into it. I have split up our kind of collections into pins that Lucas traded for himself, pins that his little collections, my little collections. I will try and remember to share who I pin traded, if it was off a board or if it was an individual. We did a lot of trading under the Epcot ball. So let's get into it. So we went with almost every single trader that we had, plus some of our keepers, and came home literally with like a handful of traders left. So we used these boards, the majority of these boards, or this is what we use the majority of the time, these boards from GoPin Pro. I will link them down below. I am obsessed with these boards. They were so nice and thin and easy just to slip in and out. You'll hear our dogs walking. It's the afternoon and they're just meandering. But absolutely obsessed with these boards. It was so nice to just slip them in and out of our bags, pull them out, and it was so nice. We reorganized them once we got back into the room for like our midday breaks, and then for like at the end of the night. It was nice. So I think these three, let me just pick through them and then we can talk about it. So these two boards are Lucas's pins. Yes, these are Lucas's pins. So we got this Buzz. I'll just pull them off and show you. I really don't know how to do this. Normally I do this differently. This is like the first year that we've really gotten into pin trading. This was a pin that we traded with a girl in Animal Kingdom. She was a younger girl and she saw Lucas's pin book and asked if she could trade with him, and she splayed all of her little pins out on the ground in the middle of one of the gift shops at the front of the park, and that was super fun. Lucas grabbed this Millennium Falcon pin off of a pin board, I believe. And then we have this Serve Droid. I don't know where he got this. I don't remember him getting this one, but we have different collections. So he collects Star Wars. He started a Villains collection while we were on this trip. And I think that's it. And for me, I am Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, a little bit of The Little Mermaid. You can see my collection's right up here. I do a little bit of Little Mermaid, but Cinderella and Tinkerbell, Peter Pan, that movie, those are my favorites. So you'll see a lot of Star Wars pins, a lot of Tinkerbell, and a lot of Cinderella. We also grabbed this. This was either a board trade, I think this was an Animal Kingdom, or it was a cast member trade, and it is a Mandalorian pin. Lucas also grabbed this Mandalorian pin. I think this was off of a board or a cast member. He grabbed this one off of, I believe it was a cast member lanyard. Also grabbed this one. We have a bunch from this set, or not a bunch, I think this is a smaller set, but we have the majority of them. We're not really like particular about scrappers. We try not to trade scrappers unless we're like trading for another scrapper, but we really don't care. If we like a pin, we're gonna grab it. And then he grabbed this one. I think this was off of the board in one of the All-Star resorts. We visited All-Star Sports to visit with some friends, so that may have been where that was from. I don't really remember, just to be honest. This also might have been with an individual. I feel like I remember this being picked up in Animal Kingdom, so I'm not really sure. So those are all the pins on the front of this board. Now let's get to the back. So the majority of these are villains. It's just a mishmash. So we have Deadpool. This was a trade under the Epcot ball. This was also a trade under the Epcot ball. He grabbed this one under the Epcot ball, and we also bought this pin box right before he grabbed this one, I think, if I'm remembering right. So he wanted Hades out of all of them, so we traded with a very nice woman. Lucas and I both made some really good trades, and she was very fair. I found this one for him on a pin board. Very cool. It could be a scrapper, but it's not one that I've seen a lot of. It's Chernabog, if you can't tell, on a wristwatch. Or is it Venom? No, that was Chernabog. It is a hidden Mickey. You can see right there at the top. So he grabbed this necktie, the Hades necktie. Funny story, not really story, but we ended up taking one of these and I traded it away. This one is messed up. Some of the enamel has come off right here, and I don't think he noticed that, but it really doesn't matter. He really loved Hades this trip. And then we have a Maleficent. Grabbed this Jafar off the board, and I just noticed that he does not have like pupils. His eyes are just white. But I grabbed this off a board for him, I think on my solo night. And then here is a Scar. I think I grabbed this for him off of a board. I think this is a 2024. I think this is a 2024 Hidden Mickey. We have another 2024 Hidden Mickey. This is Chernabog. This is, I hope I'm saying that right. This is the pin that really started Lucas's desire, that and Hades, to start a villains collection. Then he just found a Marvel logo. That is everything off of the first board for Lucas. So the next board, just a very random mishmash as well. So we'll start up here. I don't think I'm gonna pull all of these off, just because I don't want to. So we have a Stitch Attacks snack. That was off of a board. That was off of a board. I'm pretty sure all of these were off boards. I don't know if this, I don't think it's from a pin box. I think it may be from like a booster lanyard. And then he found this Pongo, I think. I know these were all on boards. That was on a board, that was on a board, that was on a board. We found this on a board in Animal Kingdom, just a little Venom. We found these two on boards, and then this is a Doug. He is off of a booster lanyard that has Pixar like sidekick characters. So I think most of these will probably be traders because we did end up finishing this collection while we were there. And then we have, these are definitely scrappers, but he was like really loving Toy Story this trip. And then he found this and fell in love, and for some reason, I even said it in the vlog, I think. I thought it was a backwards K, but it's an X when I looked it up on Pinpop. It's like a website that you can catalog pins, whatever. And then there is Maleficent's bird, and then Wasp, and I think that may be Black Widow. Yes. And then we traded this Darth Vader. It was a rack pin, but we traded for it in Hollywood Studios on May the 4th. There is a lady that has like a pin apron that sits in a wheelchair outside, like the parks and stuff. And so we traded with, I think, her friend that comes and has a bunch of stuff. And there was a lady that was sitting down that I had kind of shown her some of my really good traders. And she started wanting like 2 and 3 pins for this, and I'm not doing all that. And so we started looking and found this one, and Lucas asked, I mean, is there anything that we have that you would want to trade for this? And she was like, no, absolutely. 1 pin is totally fine. I think this was also a trade made with them. Just a little Grogu. I think we took this with us. No, I have a C3PO that we took with us. This was off of a board. We also grabbed this pin from that same lady. And then I'm really not sure who that is or where we got that one. Let's see what it says on the back. Boba Fett is what this says. So this is from a Boba Fett set. Don't really know. So there is board number 2, and this is the last of Lucas's little, of these purple boards. So next up is just the pins that we bought in pin boxes. I'm just kind of grabbing at random. So we did not, well, we did buy mini pin boxes, but we really didn't come home with many. We tried to use them to trade for things that we wanted. So I opened one Imaginative Icons box and got this, and then the Hercules drink cup with Pain and Panic. We will probably keep this one. This will probably become a trader. We opened a few of these boxes. Lucas went into the trip with a couple of these, and he was able to finish this collection while we were there. We did open one May the 4th mystery box and got the R2-D2 and C3PO. Love this. I wish that these boxes weren't $35 because we definitely would have bought more, but we really couldn't justify buying many more than that. So that is everything on this front side. And then we have the back side. Lucas did one of the villains boxes and got, I don't remember what his name is, and then the Evil Queen from Snow White. And then I did a lot of the Princess Pastries boxes. These were really great traders. And so my solo night, I grabbed that and the Imaginative Icons, and ended up with this Ariel, yes, and then this Rapunzel, and then this Cinderella opened. This was the first box that I opened, and this was really the only pin that I wanted. So these will be keepers. These 2 will be traders. This is a keeper. It's gonna go on my, I'm gonna put my pins up after this. This is a trader. This is a trader. These are keepers. So nice pins to trade whenever we go back. So here is one of my boards, and I have some stories for some of these, and some of these I have nothing. So I grabbed this pin. I opened this box last year on our last trip, and this and the Pirates, them in the Pirates boat is the only one that I wanted, and so I did end up grabbing this off of a board in Tomorrowland, in Frontierland on my solo night. I was so excited. I did not film my reaction to finding it. I saw it across the way, and I did not have my camera going, which bumps me out because I was so excited. And then I think I found this just on a board. I didn't know if Lucas wanted it, so I grabbed it. He does not, so that's gonna be a trader. We did complete, other than the chaser, this, whatever they're calling them, they're not the D's, but the 25th anniversary 2025 Hidden Mickey collection. They had no of the bags, so we really had to hunt for them. There were no chasers to be found on any of the boards. There were a few people that had chasers that wanted like a crazy amount of pins for the chasers, so I wasn't doing any of that. I found a Coronado Mickey. He is, the little paint bucket says Coronado Springs on it, and I think it comes like in a pack of 3, not a pack. I really don't know the story behind these pins other than when Coronado Springs was undergoing their big construction project, they were handing these out maybe. I don't really know, but I thought it was cute, so I grabbed it. And then I grabbed this churro. I think this may be from a Stitch Attack Snacks pack or something. And then this little Mickey banner. I just thought it was cute. I think this may have been a blind trade. And then we made a trade with an individual, I believe, for this. They wanted something we had, so we grabbed that. And then onto the back. I don't remember the story behind this pin. where we found it. Once I start editing these vlogs, I may figure it out, but I love this pen. I can't decide if this is gonna go on Lucas's villains portion of his board or if this is gonna go on my Peter Pan. And then I found this Jiminy Cricket, and I just love it. I think it is so cute. And then I found this mini while we were in Epcot, and come to find out, it is a part of a set. And I didn't know it was a part of a set, and we grabbed a Goofy that I'll show you in a minute on our last day. And there's a Tinkerbell with a very large, she has a really big one of these ear hats, so I need that. And then we grabbed just 2 more. These are from the Hidden Mickeys last year, Ursula and Evil Queen. Lucas traded, we had Hades and Sadness and Dory many times, and these were such like hot pins while we were there. And so Lucas traded one for me, the day, I think May the 4th, and he traded this away for me, a really fun Cinderella pin. And so I made it my mission on my solo night to find him another Hades. So here is just a Painted Panic for his board. And then there is that Goofy I was talking about. He has a little ear hat on his head, and there's a set. There's also this Chaser, probably a fake scrapper Tinkerbell. And then I'm almost 100% positive that this is a scrapper as well, but it's Tinkerbell and I thought it was cute, so I grabbed it. On to the next board. So I believe the majority of these were trades with other individuals. So these 2 trades I made with Elizabeth Travato. So if you've never watched her channel, I'll link it down below. I'm sure you have. But we met up and had such a great time. We chatted, got to know each other. Our husbands met. It was so much fun. So much fun. She is so sweet. But she traded, I don't even remember what I gave her. I think I gave her an Elsa pin. But there is this, and this is actually a couples set, which is so odd to me, but this is one of my favorite pins from the entire trip. Just the black and the stars, I love it. And then she gave me this Peter Pan. We traded for the Peter Pan parking sign. I can't remember if this was, I think this was off of a board. And then this Tinkerbell pin I traded with an individual under the Epcot ball. And then this one is also from under the Epcot ball. And I don't know if you can tell, but it does, you can shift it and the mice show up. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying. I don't remember what that's called. Starts with an L. And this is a lounge fly pen. Okay, I think you got the point there. And then this was a trade under the Epcot ball. I love it. I ended up trading just 1 pin for this, which was a shock. And then I finally got my hands on this Joey Chew Tinkerbell pin. And then my plan was not to collect all of these pins. I wanted the Cinderella pin, and literally found over half of these like right back to back on our first park day. She is probably my favorite. I think she looks the best out of all of them. But I think I want to start just a Disney Princess collection with, I'm sure if you've been to the parks recently, within like the last year, 2 years, maybe even 3 years, they have a bunch of the princesses on those white backer cards. I want all of them. I saw somebody on TikTok that had a little collection of that. I'm like, okay, I want princess pins. So those, these 2 Cinderella pins were from an individual. This was also from that same individual that I got the Neverland pin. Cute. And then this was off of a board, and I think I want this with, I have the Cinderella and the Ariel, and I just love this little collection and their little faces and the little art and stuff like that. So I think that with those other pins I was talking about on the white cards would make just the cutest little collection. So the next thing Oh, those were all of the purple boards. But the next thing that I really fell in love with this trip, and I have liked it, but I didn't realize, like, I'll just show you. These are pins that are characters dressed as other characters. I have a mini dressed as Tinkerbell, and I have loved that. But these are Disney characters dressed as Star Wars characters. So this pin up here is Donald Han Solo. I found him at All Star Sports. One of my favorite finds. There's like a whole huge set of these, and I need them all. I grabbed this Goofy Vader. It was on a pin, like it had a backer card, and I traded for it under the Epcot ball. I gave him one pin, and we were just so shocked. And then here is Donald as a stormtrooper. I think this is a Loungefly pin, but I still think he's really cute. And then Winnie the Pooh as a Jedi, I believe. And these two, I think these may have been like individual trades. I don't remember getting these two off of a board, but I remember for sure this was off of a board and that was from an individual. We also have Mickey as a Jedi. I think he may be Luke. Maybe just a Jedi, but I need any character dressed as another character ASAP. So Lucas ended up picking up one of these bags. He went into the trip knowing he wanted one of these bags and just carried his little collection around. So he started many new collections, and some he didn't finish, some he did. But he started this little collection while we were there. These are notoriously scrapped, but he does not care. Like I said, we don't care. I don't think he has fully finished this collection, so it gives us something to look forward to next time, but he really made great headway. I don't think we had any of these pins going into the trip. And then he started kind of a Buzz Lightyear Toy Story, so we had that one and traded it away and got it back. I think we found this Buzz on a board, this Rex on a board, this was off of a board, these two Wally pins were off of a board, this was off of a board, and then I think that was off of the board as well. And then here is the droid. I don't think these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This may be the entire set. But he finished that collection while we were there. And then last but not least, I started this collection for him when I went on one of my trips. I grabbed him one and he just really went ham on it. I think we traded 2 or 3 pins for this chaser pin. And then this was off of a board or an individual, I can't remember, and I think we took that with us. Oh, just kidding, there was one more page. So he also, you saw this in the vlogs, he completed this collection while we were there. I found this Incredibles car, I think the day we arrived, and he saw that it had a pack and he wanted the Pizza Planet truck, and then just decided to collect them all. So I will forever, this little set will always just remind me of our trip. Specifically this car, the Vanellope car, if you have not watched the vlogs yet, go watch that. But very fun little memory there. And then I don't know where he got this pin, but I love it. We kind of share the Star Wars collection because we are both very into Star Wars. And then finally this Wolverine pin. We grabbed this, he grabbed this, and I got a Donald Duck in a car on a back, like it was a rack pin. Sorry, I'm forgetting how to speak. It was a rack pin that was on a cast member as we walked into Disney Springs, and he grabbed this, and this is also a rack pin. And he traded away to one of the individuals under the Epcot ball, and literally talked about it for the entire day that he didn't have that pin. And we went back and he grabbed it from the same guy. Traded some pins we had found. So he was reunited with his Wolverine, which he was happy about. We literally have pins everywhere, so this will be really quick because if you are like a pin fan, I'm sure that you have literally seen these pins all over the place, but we did a really good job. I didn't want to collect the Donalds. I did collect all of the Donalds but the chaser for a friend, which was a really fun challenge. I don't really care much about the castles, didn't care about the ear hats. I really didn't see that many of either of those, but I did want these and the D's. So we have everything for both of these except for the chasers. Apparently they're supposedly putting the bags back out in June. By the time you watch this, it is well past June, I would imagine. So maybe we'll have chasers. But we need the Minnie and Mickey chaser for this set, and then the Figment chaser for this set. So I'm not going to pay an exorbitant amount of money. I'm not going to trade a crazy amount of pins for those. By this time next year, those will be literally a dime a dozen. So if we have to wait to finish that collection, if I have to wait to finish that collection next year, then so be it. So we have one more thing of pins left, and it is my little mini Pinfolio show. And these are some of my very favorite pins that I traded on this trip. So I carried this mini Pinfolio show during the entirety of our trip, and I absolutely loved it. So you will see a theme here. Big, I'm gonna pull these off because they're just so stacked on top of each other. So the first pin that I pulled off is this little Cinderella pin. I don't remember the story behind her. I think I got her off of a board, but I cannot remember. She's a little hidden Mickey. And then we have this Tinkerbell pin. This is a part of a set. I think it's a hidden Mickey set. It is. So it is a part of the set. A set. And I think it's like the seasons. Really not sure, but it's very cute. So next is this Cinderella pin, and I do remember the story behind this one. It was our first day, and I grabbed this off of a pin board in All-Star Movies. It is a little Loungefly pin, but I think she is stunning. I love it. So I grabbed this Lady Tremaine. I don't know if I'll keep her. Maybe could go for Lucas's little villains board. I grabbed this off of, it was somebody under the Epcot ball, but it was like a kid's board. So, I mean, it wasn't anything super special, but grabbed her. And then this Cinderella, I can't remember if this was off of a board or an individual, but super cute. And then we have a Jacques and Gus duo pin. Found this in the Emporium on a cast member, and I think I shrieked. Like, I literally gasped. I do remember that. I think that is so cute, and I just love the mice so much. Next is one of my Grail pins. I literally rode the high of finding this pin for days. It is Walt's head. We were told by the cast member I traded this off of, she said that in her 11 years working here, she's only ever seen 2. I had never seen this pin before, but I did see it a few times on some of the boards of the traders that sat under the Epcot ball. So I really don't know if this is a fake, but it was, to me, an incredible find, and I do love it. Next, we have this Cinderella sneaker. Found this, I think, on a pin board. Just another Cinderella pin. And then I found this super huge Tink head. I think that this is a scrapper, but I hadn't seen her before, and I thought it was cute. And I feel like she's pretty big. She's pretty big. Next, we have this little Tinkerbell pin. I definitely think she's a fake, but I think she's also really cute, so I will be keeping her. Next, we have this little Tinkerbell pin. And I think I got this one, the little star purple Tinkerbell. This guy, maybe this girl, and then one other pin from this one person, and it was a little stressful of a situation. Yeah, it was this pin, and she really pressured me, and after I told her, like, nah, I really don't want this pin, she just like kept on and kept on and kept on. So we ended up trading. I got rid of a pin I really didn't want to, but it's fine. I do think this is a cute little Cinderella pin. And then we have a Tinkerbell latte coffee cup. I think it's super cute. And one last thing from this front page, this Tinkerbell popcorn bucket. It looks a little off to me, so I don't know if this is a scrapper or not. No, it's got the diamond on the back. I don't know if the diamonds have been fake. No, I think this is real. The more that I look at it, but the color on the front's kind of off. But it's okay. I still like it. Okay, now that that page is done, let's go to the back. So fun. So we'll do a little bit quicker rapid fire here. Well, so I went into our trip wanting these 3 pins, and I did end up grabbing them. So the Peter Pan and this little like kawaii whatever pin set, and then the Cinderella, and then for sure the one pin that I wanted from this trip was this little Tinkerbell pin. So I'm glad I was able to grab all 3 of those. So the next pin was from the Apron Lady in Hollywood Studios. This beautiful Cinderella pin. And then this is from the Princess Mystery Pin box that I don't think is sold anymore. And I went in knowing that I kind of wanted this one if I could find it. I had asked a few different people and they wanted multiple pins for this, and I found somebody that was willing to trade 1 pin for this, which is how I prefer to do things if I can. I think I traded a Hidden Mickey for this, a 2025 Hidden Mickey. I don't know what the yellow sticker on the back for this one is about, but. So the next, I think these are faked, but it's okay. I have the Cinderella of this, but I think I wanted to start collecting these. So this is Belle. It's like her little portrait. I think this is the only one that might be real. We have Aurora. And then we have Snow White. I did almost have a Jasmine, and somebody traded for it right out from under me. There were some really not courteous traders while we were there, but that's okay. Next up is this little Cinderella crown pin. I think this may be off the backer cards that have the princesses printed on them. Or this is from one of the boxes at Hobby Lobby, which I think, I'm thinking it was that. I also grabbed a Sorcerer Mickey latte because I am in the very beginning stages. I literally have 1 pin that you can see, that little blue pin, or that little blue backer card. I'm starting a Sorcerer Mickey collection, so grab that. This was also made, this trade was also made with the Apron Lady, just another Cinderella. It's her carriage. It says Cinderella at the bottom. Thought she was really pretty. And it is from, it's one of the older vintage pins. If it's not a fake, I don't think it is, but I do prefer older pins. They just are very nostalgic to me. And then I found this in Animal Kingdom, and it's Gus Gus. I literally have no idea what this is from, but I thought it was cute, so I grabbed it. We're almost finished, folks. So we'll go through like a little rapid fire. I grabbed this Animal Kingdom pin. I love to collect just parks. So we'll be keeping that. We have just a Tinkerbell, a Peter Pan flying. This was made with, I think these were both under the Epcot ball. This I found at Magic Kingdom our first day on the board as we left. And every single person that looked through my pins wanted this pin, and I am obsessed with it. Here is a Donald with Sorcerer Mickey hat, a Cinderella nesting doll. This is a Goofy Darth Vader. This was also at the pin board at the entrance of Magic Kingdom. I traded this with an individual. It's one of my favorites. And then we have Daisy Duck as Cinderella, which I love. Okay, so we're almost finished. I have just a few random ones just kind of sitting out. Some of these are some pins that I traded for others that I'm going to get shipped out after this. And then others, we just didn't have any room. We traded for them on our last day. So this pin was a trade for Caitlin Kelly, Magically Caitlin. I love it. It's so cute. We grabbed this for her first before I started to collect them, like before I decided to collect them. And so I held on to this for the majority of the trip. I cannot wait to get that sent to her. I grabbed this off of a pin board. We may trade it away, I'm not really sure, but if it was Star Wars, I grabbed it. I think this was picked up in All-Star Sports while Lucas was in the arcade. Lucas grabbed this for me. I already have it, so this is just going to be a trader. This is very much a fake, but Lucas grabbed it for me. He said he thought I would like it, and I do, so I will probably keep this, put this with my Parks collection. We're almost done. I messaged Brianna like months ago when these pins came out, and I told her I would grab her a broonie, and I think this was the only broonie that I saw on the pin boards, and so I grabbed that for her, and I will be sending this out to her. I picked up this pin. It is Mickey playing basketball, which was interesting. I found this in Magic Kingdom on a board. I'm giving this to my best friend Brennan. It's from the NBA experience. I guess, I think it's ESPN Wide World Sports. I picked up this Tigger pin at the beginning of our trip for my friend Abby. She's over here on YouTube as well. And she decided that she didn't want it, which is totally fine. So I'm going to just trade that away on our next trip. My love language, obviously, if you watched Madison Prox videos, we love to pin trade for other people. So we did a lot of pin trading for other people on this trip. I grabbed this. It's a Tinkerbell for my collection. This is also a little season series. I think it's a Hidden Mickey. My battery's about to die too, so I'm like trying to get this done fast. This pin is always going to hold such a special place in my heart. We traded for this as we were trying to run to Cinderella Royal Table Dinner. We were running late, we ran into people, and they traded this for a BD1 pin. And so that was one of the most special nights of our trip, and this pin, every time I look at it, I think of that. This pin, I'm so obsessed with. I traded for this with a guest, I think on one of our first days. It was a Magic Kingdom outside of the Frontierland pin store. I literally cannot wait to get this on a board. And last but not least, this was the very last pin trading experience that we had. And the pin was so interesting that I could not leave it there. We don't know if it's real. We had a full conversation with a cast member. I have no idea, but it was too interesting not to grab and at least have for a little while. I don't know if y'all can see that. It is Mickey and Minnie with masks. I saw this and I was like, is this real? And the cast member, I think that was everything, yeah. The cast member that we chatted with at the All-Star Movies, it was like at the front desk, her coordinator was like, no, we cannot trade that. And the cast member was like, no, we've looked it up, and we've confirmed it with some other coordinators, and they told us it was fine, that was a real pin produced by Disney. So I don't really know. My battery is flashing at me. I hope this audio doesn't sound funky. Sometimes when my battery is dying, the audio sounds weird. But with that being said, those are all of the pins that we traded for on our most recent Walt Disney World vacation. We had the best time. This was a very pin heavy trip, and I cannot wait to go back and get back into some more pin trading. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys decide to stay. Let me know down below what was your favorite pin that we traded this trip, and make sure to subscribe. Hopefully we'll have another Disney series soon. I don't know how this is going to come out video wise, but that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.